growing up, we had a timeline. Get married, get pregnant on the honeymoon, announce the baby 3 months later. It was clockwork. But watching my brother Jason right now, he is throwing that clock out the window. And I absolutely love it. Everyone is asking, where is the baby? Why are they waiting? The answer is sitting right next to him, Maddie. Maddie isn't from our world. She wears what she wants. She posts what she wants. And she definitely doesn't think her only job is to be a mother. I see the look on Jason's face. He isn't stressed about dad's rules anymore. He is living his life. Jim Bob might be furious that there is no grandchild, Faye 32, announcement yet, but let me tell you why Jason's silence is actually the loudest rebellion we have ever seen from the Duggar boys. In our family, there was always a very specific algorithm for life. You court, you marry, and you get pregnant immediately, usually on the honeymoon. If you weren't pregnant within 3 months of the wedding, people started whispering, something wrong. Are they not blessed? But look at Jason. He has been married 4 months now. And silence, no announcement, no bump photos. To the outside world, this looks normal, but inside the Duggar bubble, this is a glitch in the matrix. Jason is breaking the algorithm. He isn't rushing to become a father. He is choosing to be a husband first. And honestly, that is the healthiest thing I have seen a Duggar brother do in a long time. We have to talk about Maddie. Maddie Grace is not the typical IBLP wife. She didn't grow up wearing denim skirts and memorizing Bill Gothard's wisdom booklets. She wears bikinis. She dances. She has a voice. I see a lot of myself and Jeremy in them. When I married Jeremy, he showed me that God doesn't hate you for having a personality. I think Maddie is doing the same for Jason. She didn't sign up to be a broodmare. She signed up for a partner. I truly believe Maddie looked at the Duggar baby factory model and said, no thanks. We're going to do this my way. And the fact that Jason is listening to her instead of dad, that is huge. Let's address the elephant in the room, birth control. You guys know my story. I wrote about the crippling fear I had that using birth control would kill my children or send me to hell. That is what we were taught. So if Jason and Maddie are preventing pregnancy, which it looks like they are, they had to overcome that same fear for a Duggar man to agree to contraception is rare. They are taught that their seed is a weapon for God. For Jason to say, we are going to wait, means he has had to unlearn 20 years of brainwashing. He is choosing logic over fear. He is prioritizing Maddie's body over dad's theology. People usually focus on us girls when it comes to having babies. But the pressure on the boys is different. The boys carry the last name. They are the ones who build the legacy. Dad expects the sons to populate the earth with more Duggars. When Jason pauses, he isn't just pausing a pregnancy. He is pausing the expansion of the brand. I guarantee you there have been awkward conversations at the big house. Dad probably pulled Jason aside and gave him the fruitful and multiply speech. But Jason doesn't look stressed. In his Instagram posts, he looks free. He looks like a guy who is enjoying his wife, traveling, and living without the weight of the world on his shoulders. When Jeremy and I got married, we waited a little while before having Felicity. And I am so glad we did. Those first few months or years are for bonding. You are learning how to live together. You are figuring out who you are as a couple. If you throw a baby into the mix, immediately you go from newlyweds to exhausted parents overnight. You skip the romance. I think Jason sees his older siblings, like Joe and Kendra, who had 3 kids in 3 years, and he sees how tired they are. He is smart. He is choosing to savor the honeymoon phase. He realizes that you have the rest of your life to be a parent, but only a short time to just be Jason and Maddie. There is a very simple reason why Jason can ignore dad's pressure: money. For a long time, the unspoken rule was that if you wanted a house, you had to play by Jim Bob's rules because he owned the real estate. He held the keys. But Jason is a contractor. He builds houses. He has his own business. He doesn't need dad to sign a check for him. He doesn't need a plot of land on the compound. When you pay your own bills, you get to make your own decisions. I learned that when I moved to LA. The moment you stop relying on the family pot, the fear of being cut off disappears. Jason is financially free, which means his reproductive choices are finally a private. You also have to look at who he married into. The Grace family, they are Christians, but they aren't Duggars. They don't have a Quiverfull agenda. When Jason goes to visit Maddie's family, I bet nobody is asking him, so when is the baby coming? They are probably asking him, how is work? How was your trip? Are you happy? That environment is healing. It shows Jason that he has value outside of being a father. And having supportive in-laws gives you a safe place to run when the pressure at the big house gets too loud. He has a second family now, one that doesn't view him as a soldier in a culture war. It's fascinating to compare Jason to Jedidiah. They're close in age, but their paths are total opposites. Jed followed the script perfectly. He married Caddy, got pregnant immediately, ran for office like Dad wanted, and basically became Jim Bob Duggar. Jason is the rebel. He waited to marry. He married an outsider. And now he is waiting to have kids. I think Jason looked at Jed's life, the stress, the public scrutiny, the immediate responsibility, and thought, I want something different. He loves his brother, but I don't think he wants to be his brother. He is carving out an identity that is just Jason. If you scroll through their Instagram, you see the proof. Usually when a Duggar girl or wife is hiding a pregnancy, you see the strategic purse placement. You see photos from the chest up. You see throwbacks. But Maddie, she is posting full body shots. She is hiking. She is drinking coffee. She is wearing fitted clothes. They aren't hiding a secret baby. They are broadcasting their freedom. Every photo of them traveling or having a date night is a subtle message to the fans. Seth and the family, why are enough? Just the two of us. They are normalizing the idea of a child-free season in a Duggar marriage, and that is revolutionary. Ultimately, this comes down to how you view God. We were raised in the IBLP teachings of Bill Gothard, said preventing conception is a sin because you are blocking God's blessing. It was based on fear. But I've learned, and I think Jason is learning, that God isn't a factory manager. He isn't up there counting how many babies you produce. He is a father who wants his children to be healthy and whole. If Jason and Maddie are using birth control to build a strong foundation for their marriage first, that isn't a sin. It's wisdom. And seeing my little brother choose wisdom over tradition, it makes me so incredibly proud. You have to realize Jason isn't just doing this for himself. He is setting a precedent for the younger guys, James, Jackson, Tyler. We call them the Lost Boys, but I think they are the Wook Boys. They are watching Jason closely. If Jason can delay having kids and still have a happy life and not get struck down by lightning, it changes the game for them. James is already traveling, living his best life. I think seeing Jason push back against the baby factory timeline gives the younger brothers permission to breathe. They are realizing they don't have to marry the first girl they court and have a baby 9 months later. Jason is effectively breaking the chain for the next generation of Duggar men. I can only imagine the tension at the big house on Sunday afternoons. We all know the drill. Everyone is eating tater tot casserole, and then comes the passive aggressive questioning. Dad usually masks it as spiritual concern. He probably puts his hand on Jason's shoulder and says, "So, are we praying for a little one yet?" Or he makes a joke about the house being too quiet. It's awkward. It's designed to make you feel guilty. But Maddie, I don't think Maddie crumbles under that. She probably just smiles and says, we are trusting God's timing, which is the perfect Christian code for mind your own business. She is the buffer Jason never had before. Then there are the sisters, the ones who stayed deep in the IBLP. I know how they think because I used to think that way. When they look at Maddie, with her flat stomach, her glowing skin, her energy, they probably say they feel sorry for her. They whisper, "Oh, poor Maddie, she isn't blessed with a baby yet." But deep down, I think it's jealousy. They see Maddie hopping on a plane with Jason. They see her sleeping through the night. They see her wearing jeans. It's hard to maintain the belief that suffering, when you see, is joy when you see your sister. In-law choosing not to suffer and looking visibly happier than you. Maddie's freedom is a mirror that shows them exactly what they are missing. So, when will they actually have a baby? The fans are impatient, but I predict they are going to wait at least a full year. Maybe 2. In the real world, waiting 2 years is normal. In Duggar world, it's an eternity. I think Jason wants to prove a point. He wants to prove that his marriage is valid without children. He wants to show that he loves Maddie for her, not for her fertility. If they wait until their first anniversary to even start trying, it will be the biggest statement they could possibly make. It says, define our timeline, not the internet, and certainly not Jim Bob. Jim Bob. People are quick to label Jason the black sheep or say he's leaving the faith. I don't think that's true. I think Jason loves Jesus. I think he is very much a Christian. He is just rejecting the cult aspect of our upbringing. There is a difference between biblical Christianity and Bill Gothard's rules. God never said, "Thou shalt not use birth control." God never said, "Thou must have 20 kids." Jason is disentangling his faith from his father's control. He is showing that you can be a faithful, God-fearing man and still use common sense. That doesn't make him a black sheep. It makes him a healthy adult. I think Jason is doing something really important for the definition of masculinity in our family. Growing up, a man's worth was measured by the size of his family. You were a leader if you had a massive tribe following you. Jason is flipping that script. He is showing that being a man isn't about how many babies you can make. It's about how well you love the wife you have. By waiting, he is putting Maddie's needs above his own ego. He isn't trying to build a kingdom. He is trying to build a home. And that is a much quieter, but much stronger version of leadership than what we saw growing up. I have a favor to ask everyone watching this video. Please stop asking them, when is the baby coming? In the comments. I know you mean well. I know you are excited. But as someone who faced those questions for years, it's exhausting. You don't know what they are discussing in private. You don't know if they are struggling or if they are just happily waiting. When you pressure them, you are accidentally reinforcing the same baby factory pressure that Jim Bob puts on them. Let them just be Jason. Let them just be Jason and Maddie. Let them enjoy the silence before the chaos of parenthood begins. They have earned this peace. Oh, do I think they will have kids eventually? Absolutely. And when they do, I think they are going to be incredible parents. Because they waited, they will be ready. They won't be burnt out. They will have had time to travel, to grow, and to solidify their marriage. They probably won't have 19 kids. They might stop at 2 or 3, like Jeremy and I did. And that is okay. A small, focused, happy family is a beautiful legacy too. They are breaking the cycle of parentification where the older kids raise the younger ones. Their kids will actually get to be kids. The biggest takeaway from Jason's rebellion is this: Jim Bob's grip is gone. He used to control us with fear. Fear of the world, fear of poverty, fear of God's wrath. But Jason isn't afraid. He is prosperous, he is happy, and he is faithful. He proves that you can leave the IBLP rules behind and still have a blessed life. Dad can be furious. He can call meetings. He can quote scripture. But he can't stop the truth. The adult children are waking up, and Jason is just the latest one to walk out of the fog. I'm going to keep watching Jason and Maddie's journey with a big smile on my face. Every time they post a photo of a coffee date instead of a gender reveal, I cheer a little inside. The best rebellion against a controlling system isn't anger. It's happiness. And Jason and Maddie look genuinely happy. This is Jinger sending love to my brother and his brave wife. Keep doing it your way, Jason. We are all rooting for you. Thanks for watching, guys.